Good afternoon, Christian and Brigitte. Brigitte or Brigitte?
Brigitte.
I love Brigitte. Just remind me Brigitte Bardot. I don't know why. Welcome and good afternoon. Welcome on board.
Welcome to you guys. Hi.
Thank you. Thank you
Good
for
afternoon.
joining us. Really appreciate your contribution, your participation. But let's do something. I will leave the words to you, starting lady first. You can introduce yourself.
Perfect. First of all, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Enzo, Mark, for having me today here with you guys. So my name is Brigitte, Brigitte Hidalgo. I'm just Chief Operating Officer of Weekend Desk. Weekend Desk is an online travel agency. We're just really focused into selling thematics, getaways, and weekends. We're just a French company, but we are based in several European markets, mainly France, Spain, Benelux, Italy. And what we try to really focus and try to find is just like ideas and things to do for people to go on a weekend. I've been working and related to the travel industry for many years now. Actually, I've met Mark in the past many years ago. I've been working mainly on the hotel industry, on several hotel chains, and been working for Weekend Desk for 12 years already, and been launching several markets for Weekend Desk.
Amazing. Thank you, Brigitte. Christian.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Yeah, I'm Christian, based in San Francisco. I've spent my career on the experiences side. So most of my life, I've been operating the double-decker buses at the hop on, hop off in San Francisco. From the UK originally, but more recently, I started Magpie Travel. Actually, we launched in March of 2020, which is always a good time to launch, looking back. But it's a content platform for the experiences sector. So we store the world's content for anything from museums to tours to anything that you may do once you get there. So we store that content and we distribute that to various resellers, including OTAs and receptives and anybody else that wants that content. So more than happy to be here. Appreciate the invite, and I'm looking forward to this discussion.
Great. So content is becoming really the king in our industry. Of course, when we talk about content, is not only, let's say, what we normally imagine, so pure text or picture or videos. Now we also talk about rates and inventory. So it's becoming a very big topics. But let me ask you this straightforward question, and then we can start the conversation. So, as you know, these days, today we are talking in particular on planning phase of the traveler journey. But of course, inspiration is becoming one of the key aspects. So where the inspiration start from, guys? So how, inspirational phase has changed over the years, and where do travelers get inspiration from? So let's start with you, Brigitte.
Well, inspiration actually is one of the main interesting points, not just to work on. And actually, it really can come from very different ways. So actually, as you say, so it started with the basic brochure in that time, and nowadays it can come from social media, still from newsletters, which is still can be very much inspiring. It can be for blogs and contents. It can be on how you try to market your product itself, information you can just describe into the booking process. So actually, it's really a very, very big. We have very much different sources from inspiration. So actually, social media, YouTube, TV. So that's a big thing now. So now it's just like so different and difficult to tackle all of that. And in Weekend Desk, we try to target all of our specific industries. And that's true as well that from our perspective, inspirations really depends on the type of audience. So it's a bit more easy to segment. That's really important and big question, and not easy actually to really answer.
Yeah, of course. Also because inspiration might be different based also on the type of traveler. We all know that becoming crucial, not the customization of the right message to the right person. So we are going more into the direction of ad personam. So not talking to the big groups or mass, but talking one by one. Let's say this is to just to extreme the example. And of course, the inspiration for a young guy might be different from an inspiration from a person like
Totally.
me or Mark or Christian. But of course, this is something that play a key role, no, during the booking process. So, what's your thoughts on that, Christian?
Yeah, I mean, clearly it's moved offline to online. You know, we all spend I don't know how many hours a day in front of a screen of one form or another, and I think there was an assumption that moving the inspiration part online would make things simpler for the suppliers. A supplier being an experienced supplier or a hotel or even an airline. But I don't think it's moved that way, and I think social media has definitely complicated it. And just the breadth of options the breadth of places that you have to be online now. You know, before you could be in a couple of tour operators in the brochure. It was very kind of set and almost understandable, but now you have to follow every single trend that comes along. And you don't really have an option. You know, you can't just decide that I'm not going to do TikTok or I'm not going to do Instagram or we'll wait for Facebook to come and go. These things they keep popping up. And I think that's what makes it interesting as well, but that's what makes it complicated. We have to follow the trends and we have to follow the eyeballs, and we have less and less control over where these eyeballs are going, which I think makes it great. I think it makes the whole industry very exciting, but complicated as well.
You know what? I'm not. I'm, let's say, in a way, very social oriented. But I never use TikTok. So when Mark and me we were discussing on preparing this particular topic, I was curious to understand, what a bit more how TikTok can be involved in this industry. What's your experience on that? Also, as a user and traveler, Mark, do you use TikTok to get some inspiration sometime?
No, no, definitely not. Probably I'm not, on that range of uh, population that are using TikTok. But I mean, going back to a little bit to what Christian said, I think that yeah, right now it's becoming more complex. Okay, to engage or to try to engage the audience, because at the end of the day, I think that travel is competing with many other forms of entertainment. Okay, so at the end, you can be sitting in front of the TV or in front of your laptop. Okay, or you can go outside and try to find a gateway. Okay, to spend some time out there with your family, friends, whatever. Okay, and I think this is something that it's also important to consider. That travel is not competing only. Destination is not only competing with another destination, but also with lots of different products related to how we spend our free time. Okay, and I think this is a key topic also.
That's right. That's right. And what's your thoughts on that, Brigitte? What do you think
Well,
about this approach of using also media like Netflix platform?
yeah, I mean, just coming back to the TikTok thing, not just like, for example, personally, I never went to TikTok, but I know we did as weekenders, we did some tests. And actually, when I see and when I've been reading the engagement from the TikTok users lately, I mean, it's really increasing versus others social media. So as we were saying before, those are the trends we need to follow and we need to test. On our side, we've been testing things. And even though some years ago we were thinking like even social media could be just like a business volume channel, actually not. We're really totally seeing different, even the attribution model and so on, to consider those channels as inspirational ones. And for sure, again, I never used TikTok, so it's not from my age, but I know, and we can see that our future customers are just certainly using TikTok now. So that's the point. We need to be open to TikTok and any other platforms, Netflix or any other opportunities too.
I'm going to turn this question also to the audience. Feel free to add your comments in the space, guys. Are you using TikTok in your marketing, especially I don't know in the targeting aspect of the booking process? I can confirm that actually I'm not a very fancy of TikTok, honestly, but the truth is that my children are using everyday TikTok. So, and at some point they will start to get targeted, from destination or travel agent or tour operator to propose them, some travel at some point. I'm expecting this kind of, future approach, and definitely we have to look at this kind of platform more accurately and see where is the opportunity to target the right audience in the future. And right, so but let's move to the next question now, related to also we are in this post-pandemic, let's say, world. But after 2 years of pandemic, how experience trends and preference has changed based on your experience, or at least based on the behavior of the user using your platform? Brigitte.
Well, in our case, actually, we've seen many new trends coming. Like, for example, just which was really related to what we do, like the look for local tourism, local getaways, green travel. Those are, these green tourism that we all talk about lately, but it's something real now. We've been seeing on our case around 180% of increase of this type of packages, green packages sold on our website, for example. We've seen customers asking for a lot more of personalization, and just even though for private experiences, just like small tours with some like private jacuzzi in the room activities, dinner in the room, really just looking for more, even to be able to pay a bit more. I think on the travel industry, we are all seeing an increase of our rates. Actually, we're experiencing this trend, and people it's even able to pay a bit more if the experience is more complete, more premium. I think we never sold that many premium packages than during the pandemic or even after. So those are one of the main trends I think were interested to share, just on which really start from during the pandemic time, and we see they're still staying for sure.
Christian, what about the perspective from Magpie?
I'm trying to. I don't think we know yet where it's going to settle, right? I think we're still in this place of pent up demand, especially a lot of the world is only just coming out now. I think New Zealand 2 days ago just opened up to overseas. I know the US has been moving for 18 months, but I don't think we really know yet. We had 18 months in the US of everybody in the rural areas doing very well and the big cities struggling, but I think that's now changed. And this summer, it's looking like the big cities are going to be back to maybe back to normal-ish. I think on the experiences side, we've got to see who's left. There's so many operators disappeared, unfortunately, during COVID, and we have to see where things will settle down. I think, as Brigitte said, there's definitely money's definitely flowing easier right now. Obviously, there's inflationary problems, which I think are going to come in and counter that. I don't think that's going to last for too long, the way it is right now. But yeah, I don't feel like we can reach good conclusions yet. If 2 years from now, will it be any different to where we were 2 years ago? It's difficult to say. I think the sustainability absolutely is going to keep growing that angle. But as far as types, we've always been moving towards the more experiential side rather than the mass production side. But I'm not sure where COVID exactly moves that long term.
I see. And what do you think is going to be, how the uniqueness is going to impact on this process? I mean, when we talk about, for example, you were mentioned before, Brigitte, about the customization, trying to offer something unique to each user. But when we comes and discuss about uniqueness, it's also interesting to understand the perspective of your value proposition. I mean, nowadays there are so many platforms, so many ways to reach contents, understanding and get the inspiration to the right place we want to travel to. But how uniqueness from the value proposition standpoint of your organization mean? So your company is providing something really unique?
Well, we hope actually we need to provide that, because we are just like a small OTA in the middle of these big giants over there. So we really try to focus on that niche, which are those thematic getaways. And we're still, let's say, fighting for years already to try to provide the maximum content to our customers and inspiration, and try to provide unique experiences. Because as well, Christian was saying as well, it's true that people is looking us just try to avoid this massification. So just like just to try to propose a specific product. Actually, what we try to do is just to try to combine are just like getaways, which include way more than just the bed and breakfast. Actually, that could be the romantic getaways, that can be wellness, that can be specific horse tour, balloon tour. So really just try to work on specific thematics packages that we combine together with the hotels and with the activity providers. And then on our side, we just try to storytell all these packages and make them appealing. Because on our side, the majority of our customers, they don't even know where they go. So actually, that's the main difference. That's what it is. So we try to inspire them because they just want to do a break from home, and that's it. And that they should come to Weekenders to find ideas of things to do.
Is only weekend or also weekdays?
Actually, it's a great question because, our name is Weekenders, but actually we provide accommodation the whole week. It's true that we sell, let's say 60-70% of our sales are during the weekends, but now with the home office, and that's another new trend, let's say, or the capacity of many people just to live on Thursday or just to
Digital nomad, let's say, no?
Yeah,
This new
that's
type
it,
of
digital
traveler.
nomads. That's as well a new segment, and we see that we can provide as well. Yeah.
Christian,
So based on your experience, Brigitte, would you say that the destination can drive the sale instead of the destination? Because you mentioned that people, they are buying, but even without knowing where they are actually going. Is it
on our website? Yeah, I mean, on our website, I know there are some new websites coming in where you just can buy and pay the price and let's see where you go. In Weekenders, you know where you go, but actually maybe not when starting. Actually, you just geolocalize yourself. You can just go into 200 kilometers away or 2 hours from home and then find a perspective. I would say from our perspective and data, around 40% of our customers don't put the localization. They don't put actually the place where they go. They just would like to filter by thematic, by date, or just by type of weekend they're looking for. So actually, I guess that we can be surprised sometimes. And that's as well the value proposition we can give sometimes to a hotel when we try to convince to work with us. It's just like, yeah, but I'm not a romantic place, or people is not coming here for that. Yeah, sometimes we just create, let's say, destinations.
No, it's interesting because usually the OTA approach is that you have to select a destination, and based on that, you start building your trip. You are starting from flight, hotel, and then you are adding the experiences or activities, whatever. Your approach is totally, you're starting from a different point, which is very interesting. Yeah, definitely.
That's it.
But it's very curious to me, as I'm many times also discussing this with hoteliers. Okay, I think the hardest and challenge is to actually understand the user profile. And in order to understand the user profile, aggregating, collecting data, I think is the crucial. Right, Christian? So how do you make sure that you offer something unique to the traveler? How do you profile this traveler? What's your take on that?
Yeah, in the experiences sector, it's interesting when Airbnb started offering experiences. I don't know where we are now, maybe 5 years ago. And I think a lot of people in the space thought it was a little bit arrogant that, that they're advertising about, live like a local, and it was the anti-Eiffel Tower kind of approach. I don't think that's right. And Airbnb didn't do well with experiences. That they're still going, but they don't sell a lot compared to OTAs and others. So I think it's getting that right balance. It's the different angle, not angle of the Eiffel Tower, but it's the different way to see the Eiffel Tower, right? See it at sunset, or see it at, actually everybody sees it at sunset, but see it in the morning, or see it on a more of an exclusive angle. And I think it's making people feel special and unique, because absolutely people want to share, and they want to share something that they feel is unique. So it's almost like we need to help them feel as if they're doing something unique, but still offer them mass transit, because they do want to see the Golden Gate Bridge, they do want to see Sagrada Familia, they want to see these same things, but they need just a different angle. So I think it's getting that right. I think that I think data is tough with this. I think to serve up a very specific experience based on personal preferences is just difficult, right? We've all got different traveler profiles. We've all got 3, 4, 5 profiles. Nobody has enough data to serve up the right experience at the right time. I don't believe. Maybe in person when you're in front of a person, but it's very difficult online to give people the right experience. So we end up with these long lists of experiences like you get on the OTAs.
I see. I see. And
So I
actually,
think here, Christian, it just raised a really, really interesting thing, which is he mentioned that about sharing. Okay, we are talking about the inspiration phase. Okay, but probably right now, one of the key factors when choosing an activity or the type of experience that you want to enjoy is if you are going to be able to share it, okay, and if it's something that is going to get lots of likes, okay. So what's your experience on that? Is it something that is really impacting the way you're marketing certain products? Brigitte?
Yeah, I mean, for sure that we tried to put some years ago already this fact of when you're, for example, just checking any package on our website that you can share it, that you can send it, so that you can just push it on that. Actually, I think maybe many of the travel industry actors, we tried to do that. Yeah, that's for sure, which is something which is very important to a specific audience, the fact of being able to share and so on. It's not the same for everyone, I guess. And at the end, I don't know, actually, I would be a good thing just to check if this feature is still so much used as it was some years ago. But the fact of being able to share and just to find to that's, we all know, and that's the main goal of the social media and all of that. So that's certainly something which we know that for certain audiences, it's something important.
which is your main source of market, and which is also, this is an outsider question, just for curiosity. How do you gather, customers? Where you get them from? Mostly through digital, of course, but there is a particular channel that you
Yeah,
are
for sure.
pushing.
We are 100% digital. So for sure it's digital. We've been, I would say, let's stay still lucky to be that, just to be very strong on organic traffic. And it's something we're still working on every day. And we have many plans very related to content and to inspiration to keep on being there on top, very well ranked by our dear Google. Because that's really the thing. We've been working on a blog on content, so just to give ideas of places to visit, what to do, articles, specific articles that we write, like for example, places to French gastronomy cuisine, or just the best coastal beaches of Spain. I mean, we just try to cop all of that. So organic traffic is very important. And then for sure, all the search campaigns, they're very much focusing to specific getaways, romantic things, whatever, which is not really directly the destination or the name of the hotel, because in that moment we're totally face to face with Booking or Expedia, whatever, and then we're dead. Then for sure, in terms of traffic as well, or everything which is related to the newsletter, it's important. It was very much linked to the business volume before, but nowadays it's very much linked to inspiration. We use the newsletter just more to share what we have, and we totally changed the attribution model and the way we were looking at the data at that time. So it's just more how we engage, how people is clicking, how they open versus what this concrete newsletter is selling. So yeah, that's mainly for sure organic traffic, Google for sure, newsletter, and then yeah, more and more as well, diverse type of social media, display ads. So we really test, and we've been testing very different YouTube during summer campaigns. So we really try to open the maximum we can, just to try to find the best way to drive quality traffic to our websites.
Where your customer are coming from, Christian?
Yeah, if I put my hat on as a hop on hop off provider in San Francisco, then I mean our markets are US and then the UK and then Germany. It's very traditional markets. We still get a surprisingly amount from the traditional markets, from the tour operators in the UK and Germany. We get massive volumes from a couple of strong tour operators. But I'd say, that just going off what Brigitte said is, of course, Google, but there is this disconnect now, right? We have this disconnect between the social platforms where we don't get any attributions. I think that's the next problem. We have these not just kids. We have people of all ages spending hours and hours a day staring at TikTok and Instagram, and we don't get any attribution at all from those channels. And that's absolutely providing the inspiration. But then the only place we see it is when they come through Google or through some other channels. So there's almost this black hole of information, and the social channels aren't going to give that up, right? They don't want the attribution. They need to keep people on their platform. So I think we've almost got this black hole now, where we just don't know how people are finding it, other than Google. And Google have obviously made it so easy for us to get customer eyeballs and to obviously to pay for more eyeballs, which is nice for them. But that's the interesting part, I think. Can we get attribution from the social? Because that's where undoubtedly people are starting. So I think that's kind of the next step. But for us, it's easy to also jump too much on TikTok and to think that that's where you need to spend 80% of your time. You shouldn't be. You should have a TikTok strategy, but start slowly and start building it. But it's easy to abandon the traditional channels, which are still working very well for us and for most people.
So let's see if today with the HyperGuest we are able to provide some inspiration. I suggest now, because we would like, of course, and also this is the reason we are planning those 3 days, is having those conversations, helping get some interesting insight, but also get to know a little bit more about all those companies taking part of those 3 days. I would suggest to start with Brigitte. Maybe you can share the slide or and present your company. Give us a little bit more understanding of what is your value proposition, and ensure that the audience may, be interested and get in touch with you and find out
Perfect.
more about Weekend Desk.
You guys see my screen correctly?
Yes, perfect. So go ahead.
Okay, so that's Weekend Desk, yeah. But the vision we have is just to be the top of mind partners, to provide ideas, to customize local short breaks. And what is really different is that we just offer pre-packaged short breaks. So we just already do the job. Our salespeople do the job of pre-packaged. We don't sell transportation. I'm always very much asked, but short breaks are not important. Well, they are not really a small niche, actually. So it's important. There's a big market, actually, not only in Europe, but globally. What we really think is just like, okay, why people don't take short breaks? They don't know exactly what to do. They don't have time to organize, don't want to schedule. They just say, okay, let's wait the holidays, or there's too many choices. So actually, the problems we try to solve is just we try to solve our customers' time, inspiring different type of experiences. And we just have work on this solution, which really try to propose the best quality offers, hotels and activity packages, very much a focus into local tourism, just even before COVID. So that's why during COVID it was not that bad for us, because we really just keep on the focus into the less than 2 hours from home. Those are mainly our profiles, so mainly couples, not a lot of median distance done. That's the mix of our, they just would like to visit and explore new places. We just work direct sourcing with more than 7K partners globally. And we are really much focused into these 2 hours from home. Regarding inspiration, we've been working on discovery section and blogs. We are really all in one booking flow. We've been working lately on platforms to be distributed by other e-commerce partners. And that's it. 67% of our traffic comes from organic channels, and we're really fighting hard to just keep it this way. Social media, it's important for us in terms of fans or whatever. And that's just some of the data for the points. And where we position ourselves is just like, well, for sure, it's just more, not activity only, because we have, but 60% of our sales are just packages with wellness and massage and so on, 40% with dinner, and then around 10-15% with other extra outdoor activities. And that's it more or less for Weekend Desk.
That's great. Thank you. All right. So I think now is the time to get to know a little bit more about MacP. Did I pronounce correctly, Christian? MacP?
No.
Okay. I was sure. I was
Magpie.
sure. Magpie.
It's a
All right. Okay.
very
Magpie.
English word, I think.
It's
just
like
thinking,
the pie of Mac,
you could say that if you like, yeah.
kind of. Okay, got it.
Yeah, I was
All
just
right.
thinking, looking at Brigitte's, is we need to probably work together, Brigitte.
Yeah, for sure. That I was yeah. So.
All
Yeah,
right.
so this is yeah, I mean the inspiration from this came from which I'm sure many people have experienced, is going to trade shows, WTM and ITB and all these shows, and talking to resellers and OTAs and receptive operators over and over, and then emailing the product content. So emailing them a spreadsheet and a Word doc and a USB file with all the images, and this is the way business still happens. And we might work with 150 resellers, and every time something changes, we have to then reshare that information. We end up sending an email saying, can you change this content to that? We send them new images, and this stuff takes weeks or months or even longer to get updated. So the idea of Magpie is just a central platform. So we store it all in Magpie. We store everybody's content, and then we distribute it. So this is an operator account. So this is Skyline. I'll just show you a couple of pages. So we go to a list of products, and these are all the products we offer in San Francisco. And we drill into the product, and it's got all the usual information, the descriptions, inclusions, exclusions, images, etc. And then we can share all this to the resellers and share it all in real time, so they've got access to real-time information. And then if you are looking for new resellers, you can go to the Discover page, and you can find all of the operators, all of the resellers who are looking for content. So if you want to work with one of these, you can click on it, you can then connect with them. And then once you're connected, you start to manage all of your content on those channels. So I can now control all of my Viator, which is part of TripAdvisor. I can control all of products on Magpie and all of the products on TripAdvisor, and I can update them in real time and keep them all live. So the idea is just to help one company manage lots of distribution, lots of products distributed all over the world, because I think distribution is important, and it's not going to stop. We're going to have to connect to more and more resellers, whether they be OTAs or even social channels, or maybe in the future it's going to be Uber and Facebook and Amazon all reselling these products. So it's something that's not going to go away, and we're just trying to make everybody's life easier. So it's very background information, just trying to keep the admin away so everybody can focus on selling and marketing. So that's in a nutshell what we do.
So basically,
and we work with both sides. We work with the resellers and with the operators on the other side.
Got it. And so basically, let me see if I understood correctly. It's like in the hotel industry, we call this kind of platform similar, like a channel manager, where you can connect different platform and manage them simultaneously. In your case, it's about contents, right?
Exactly. For those who know the
videos,
it's a channel manager for content. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Very interesting. Mark, do you want to add anything else before we introduce the next panel? You are on mute, huh?
Sorry. Just when that didn't happen before. So no, I think it's been a really, really interesting panel. So just wanted to thank Brigitte and Christian for their time and for sharing their experience and their point of view based on this inspiration phase. Okay, and I think that's it. Thank you.
All right. So before we say hello, Brigitte, we finish first with you and then with Christian. My last question. So give us, a little advice to the audience, consider that we have a mixed audience of hotels, travel company, and so on. What would be your advice regarding this first stage of the travel journey, so the inspiration?
Well, I think first of all, try to partner with any type of partner that can help you build on something and just relate it to the experience. That's very important. Just don't try to create experiences to be able to sell them well. Try to really work on the content and to really that's for sure, and really try to see the channels. Although now it's very, very hard with all these attribution issues we've talked before, but really to try to target them differently and just how to get qualified traffic on one side and then how to convert it later. But for sure, just to be really able nowadays to highlight and to get differentiate on our industry inspiration phase is something really we need to work on to be successful.
Thank you, Brigitte. Christian, your last advice?
Yeah, I like the advice of partnerships. I think you can't be everywhere. You do need to focus on the channels that are big, the YouTubes and the Facebooks and the Instagrams, but you can't be everywhere. You can't be focused on the South Korean social channel as well as everything else. So you need to partner in those destinations. So I think having partnerships, I think enough of this anti-OTA feeling that everybody has. I think partnerships are important. They're not going away. Distributors are always going to be there. So yeah, get your Google right, get your SEO right, and then focus on partnerships for some of the stuff that you can't handle. But just keep an eye on the market as well. See where things are changing and move with it, because it's going to keep changing. It's not going to settle down. So be nimble and keep moving.
Great. Flexibility is the key. Thank you, Brigitte. Thank you, Christian. I'm going to introduce soon the next panel. Thank you, guys, again for joining us and be part of this journey.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
Yeah.